everyone to the Human Services Part 2 in our last session of the GPS for Success Virtual Career Fair. I'm so happy that you could join us for this last session. I wanted to say a big thank you to WPBS, Jefferson, Lewis, St. Lawrence, Lewis BOCES, the Workplace, the Watertown Chamber of Commerce, Jefferson County Economic Development, and through the support of Northern New York Community Foundation and Africa, who are the makers of AminoMax. Just a very special thank you to everybody who made this event possible, and of course our panelists for being able to make it here and sharing with you their experience in industry. A very special thank you to Jefferson Lewis BOCES for making this virtual career fair a reality, and of course to Eli Stawicki for being the technical genius behind everything. We are so happy that you can join us for this event. My name is Celeste, and I am the WPBS Education Services Manager. I'm going to be your moderator and host for this session, so I'm here to make sure that basically everything runs smoothly and that you as the attendee and the audience can interface with our panelists. So your panelists for today's session are, we have Ann Larkin, who's from the Children's Home of Jefferson County. We have Matt Bradley, who's from the Northern Regional Center for Independent Living, and I think he'll be joining us later. And we have Jennifer Draper, who's from the ARC in Jefferson, St. Lawrence. So here is how today's session will work in case you haven't attended a session before. We are going to have each panelist share different career options and possibilities within the Human Services Career Cluster. Now, this is our second one because we had so many panelists for the first one that we had to make a second one. So that was a really nice surprise. But make sure that you are paying attention just in case you do have a question. So we want to make sure that we can answer your questions as best as possible. And I'm going to let you know how you can ask questions. So once a panelist has finished speaking, we will have a short Q&A session before moving on to the next panelist. You can ask questions about the presentation using the Q&A panel that's right over here on the right-hand side or on your right-hand side. And my fingers might be crossed in case I'm mirrored or anything, but look over on the side panel. You're going to see a menu, a little bar that says Q&A. If you click that, you'll be able to type in your question, and we will have it answered either verbally or through the Q&A chat. So please make sure that you are writing down questions as you have them during the presentation to make sure that we can answer your questions. Now, if you do write a question down during the presentation, we won't be able to answer it, or our panelists won't be able to answer it until after. So please hang tight and we will get around to your question. You can also raise your hand. So there is an option of raising your hand, and you're going to see in these lower bottom buttons here, when you scroll your mouse over, there's going to be a button with 3 dots. If you click on that 3-dot button, you're going to see an option of raise your hand. If you click the raise your hand button, then that will alert me as the moderator that you want to say something. So we can use this if you think a question would be better asked verbally. This is for those questions that you think are really kind of specific and detailed, and they might need a little bit more explanation on your behalf. So you might need to explain your question a bit so our panelists know how to answer. So again, those are those buttons right down there on the bottom of your screen. Please be respectful when you do ask verbal questions. I will unmute you, and then you can ask your question, and then you will be muted again. After you've met all our panelists and the session ends, please make sure to check out mygpsforsuccess.com to learn more about this career cluster and the other 15 different career clusters that we have. So without further ado, we are going to get started. Our first panelist today is going to be Ann Larkin, and she is from the Children's Home. So Ann, whenever you're ready, you can go right ahead.
Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
All right. So like many people, we're gonna try and figure out really quickly how to share our screen. So I think we just click this share screen.
So I just made you the presenter. You got it. Awesome. There we go.
All right. So, my name is Ann Larkin, and I am the Human Resource Director here for the Children's Home of Jefferson County. And with me today is...
I'm Chris Randall. I'm the Staff Development and Training Manager here at CHJC.
Chris has got a lot of energy, and he helps me a lot with any sort of like recruitment, engagement, onboarding, training, staff development. So I thought he would be a great person to have on with us as well. So let's see here. Click on right here.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. So again, I'm Ann Larkin. I'm the Director of HR. So what's the Director of HR mean? The Director of HR means that I oversee staffing and hiring for the Children's Home, and I take care of our employees. So I've been with the Children's Home for over 5 years. The Children's Home is a nonprofit organization, and so we work with children and families in the community. We have locations in Jefferson County, Lewis County, St. Lawrence County. And so I got started actually working with kids who are in foster care. So children who were placed in the foster care through the county that they live in. And so those children, we were able to help those children. And so that's where I got my start with the Children's Home. I could tell you what I look for in potential employees is I always look at people's experience to see what they've done. So not only their education, but their experience, their passion for the mission. So if you're going to work for a nonprofit organization or a human services organization, you have to have a lot of passion about what you're doing because it can be really hard work, but it's truly very, very rewarding work as well. I look to see what your knowledge is too. So what is your education? What area is your expertise in? What's your background? What are your learning experiences and what's your interest? So at the Children's Home, we have many, many different opportunities across all levels. So you could come with a high school diploma and work at the Children's Home, or you could come and be a doctor at the Children's Home. So we have a lot of different opportunities across the spectrum. And we often say that this is a great place to get your start. So, to find out if this is truly the type of work that you want to do. So, so I'll have Chris speak a little bit about himself now.
So I am the Staff Development and Training Manager. So what that means is that I do all the onboarding training, staff development training, any type of training that kind of happens within CHJC. I'm kind of either researching it for the staff or actually leading the training for the staff themselves. So I've been with the agency about 1.5 years, but I've been in the training and development spectrum for about 17 to 18 years now at various industries. From manufacturing to call centers to human services. So I've been kind of out there in many different spectrums. When it comes to training and trainees, the few things that I look for when you walk in the door is professionalism. What do you look like when you walk in the door? Are you present yourself the way that you want to present yourself and the way we want you to present yourself as an agency? The energy that you bring to the classroom. When you walk in, are you just there to go through training? Are you there to bring something to the table? Are you there to actually liven the room up, or are you there just to kind of get through the day? Mm-hmm. And the third thing is the engagement. As class goes on and as trainings go on, are you really engaged in the information that you're getting, or again, is it just something that you're just there as a checkbox for? So those three things are very important from my perspective as a trainer, and your success as a trainee as you come into an agency or any job you go to, whether it be at CHJC or any other profession.
The mission at the Children's Home is to create opportunities to enhance lives, one relationship at a time. So that can entail so many different things. And the Children's Home does have 20-some programs working with people in our communities where we're creating the opportunities in their lives by building relationships, rapports with them, connecting them with services, and helping them to be able to better themselves and have healthy lives. So while we do so much, whether it's mental health or preventative services, we have a teen center as well. So we touch a lot of different people across different lifespan ages. So whether it's babies, children, adolescents, Most people think of us as working just with children, but we actually work with adults and people who are older as well. We have a short video that we wanted to share with you.
I'm not sure how well videos are going to work. You can give it a shot, but
we'll give it a shot.
Okay.
And just shout out if it's not working.
Okay.
The Children's Home of Jefferson County has been helping families.
We can really just see it. The audio is very low.
CHJC has grown to help people of all ages. In the process, became the largest human
Better.
services organization in the region. Now CHJC is growing again. We'll soon be opening a new facility in historic downtown Watertown. This bright and modern facility will become an integral part of CHJC's mission in helping youth develop, foster care and family permanence, hosting programs for at-risk youth and their families, and youth and adult health services, including a fully functioning clinic. If you decide to start a career in mission-based work with CHJC, you'll not only be part of changing people's lives for the better, you'll also receive top-notch medical benefits, employer-paid HRA, and a very affordable dental plan with free vision. You will also have opportunities for personal and professional growth, with lots of upward mobility, tuition reimbursement, and continuing education opportunities. There's also agency-paid life insurance, 8 to 11 paid holidays per year, and because life happens, it's very generous PTO. Just like CHJC, you are also looking for the future. There's a 401k retirement plan with employer contribution after your first full year of employment, and personal contribution after just 3 months. And to help you along with your path to success, financial management services are included.
Hi, my name is Chris Mann. I'm the chef here at the Children's Home of Jefferson County. 17 years. I hope that speaks for itself. This is a fabulous facility. There's never a boring day. You can trust me there. Ever. There's always something new. We turn on a dime. We have to accommodate children. It's an exciting place to be. The benefits are absolutely fantastic. If you are from out of the area, yeah, you won't find a prettier spot. North Country's a great place to be. Great place to raise your children as well.
If you are
All right, so we just wanted to show a little bit of that to give you all the visuals as well. So I don't know how well you were able to hear it, but hopefully you were able to hear it a little bit and see a little bit of our campus as well. We call our main location the campus. So just quickly to look at some of those programs that we were telling you about. So as I said, we do have adult health and wellness programs. We don't just serve children. So it looks at adults and helping them with their emotional and behavioral health, linking them up with counseling, treatment services. We have care coordination, which works with adults too, goes into their homes, works hands in hand with them, linking them up to services and helping them cope with crisis or difficulties in their lives. So those are some of the programs that fall underneath adult health and wellness programs at CHJC. You know, they would include our community clinic, which is a mental health clinic. And there we have jobs such as clinicians, psychiatrists, nursing, as well as positions like support positions, like receptionist and billing, all of those positions as well. So crisis response would be working with people who are in crisis. Forensics is actually our jail program. So we have a contract with Jefferson County for their forensics program at the jail. So we have clinicians who actually work right at the jail. So if that's something that you're interested in, mental health and helping people. I'll let Chris speak on youth health and wellness.
So the same goes for the youth. Not only do we work with the youth's physical well-being, but we also focus on the youth's emotional and behavioral health as well. Like Ann said earlier, we do have a child care coordination, just we do adult care coordination, and they link the youth up to services that help their emotional and their behavioral well-being. The community clinic also meets with our youth. Sometimes they're here on campus and sometimes, in the community clinic. We have crisis response. That is also located in our clinic for anybody that's to where we offer crisis response here at CHJC. And then our single point of access, SPOA, is basically a point where they can come in and a youth can get everything they need at a single point. So they can get set up for different services across different agencies with one single person assisting them through that process.
And earlier I had mentioned foster care. So that's also one of our biggest programs. So for anybody who is interested in helping youth who have been abused or neglected, helping them reunite with their families or find a permanent home, whether it's with their families or with an adoptive home. So caring for children who have been abused or neglected. So we have casework positions. We have positions that help certify people to become foster and adoptive parents. We have positions that work with parents who've already adopted children to support them. So there are a lot of great positions there. And then again, as with any of our positions, there's always some sort of administrative type positions too. So those are always different options to think of as well. They're not just the people who work directly with the kids and with the families, but also the people who support those who work with the kids and the families.
Yeah, and our last grouping is youth and family support services. So when youth and families are facing challenges in their home, sometimes they will use our services. Because of Raise the Age program, some of you are familiar with that. That's a recently passed legislation, which is those youth that typically would have been gone to a detention center or somewhere like that sometimes can come to us, and we work on and some of their life skills and to try to get them reunited with their family and their community, so that way they can grow as part of the community they live in. We have TCRP, which is Therapeutic Crisis Respite Program. That is a program where some youth that are having their challenges with their home life, they come to us for a 2-week period of time, and we work on them again with life skills, therapy, and how to make them reunite with their family and how to handle situations of adversity. We have PINs, community school liaison program. Sometimes if you're in the schools at all, you'll see a CHJC staff member there with some of our school. Just kind of being the liaison between the school and our agency to make sure the youth is getting what they need from the school and from us and getting support as they go through their academic careers at times. So.
All right. So if you're considering a field in human services and have an interest in working with children, working with adults, focusing on mental health and wellness, or even just supporting those who work with the families as well. So many different types of positions. We have 275 employees right now. So yeah, we'd be excited to answer any of your questions now.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And it doesn't look like we have any questions in the Q&A. However, if you've been on a session with me before, you know full well that I always ask questions because I am always curious about things. So what do you think in your day is both the most challenging part and the most rewarding part, or the best parts of the job?
So I'll start out with the best parts of the job. Like I said, is I'm HR and Chris does onboarding and training, and so we don't actually get to work with the kids and the families. But the greatest part of our job is that we get to support those who work with the kids and the families, and we get to see the difference that we're making in their lives. For me, one of the greatest things is an employee who's able to start with us, and then I'm able to watch them progress in their careers. So to help link them with education and training opportunities to get to where they want to go in life. And that's an amazing thing to be a part of, is to watch, somebody fulfill their dreams.
For me, I think the most rewarding part of the job is listening to some of the stories that come back from our staff and some of the successes they've had in their day-to-day and being out in the community or even right here on campus, and the part that we play in that as they go through training and as they learn the job and they learn the trade. It's kind of rewarding to say, hey, that's great that we are making a difference in the community to these families, whether it be, most of our wins aren't huge wins. They're the small wins that add up into a big win. So we got to take that into consideration.
Yeah, as for challenges, I don't
Well,
know.
the challenge I think in the human service field in general is you're not gonna wake up every day and say you go into work and get the same day over and over again. You know, it's not Groundhog's Day. As you wake up in the morning, you're gonna go in and it's gonna be buckle up because you're gonna get what you get, and that's how you get through the day. It's challenging, it's rewarding, and it's different, and that's what I think can be challenging, can be rewarding at the same time.
I think you have to be a person who loves hard work and can be completely flexible and willing to learn all the time. So I think our agency supports lifelong learning and continuous growth. So you have to have the mindset for that in order to be successful. And I think that, that can be a challenge, definitely.
Great. And you answered one of my other questions. I was going to ask what types of skills or personality or interests do you think that people should have? But you kind of already answered that. So if you have anything more to add to that, that would be great too. But again, I always have questions. So what would you tell a middle schooler or high schooler who's thinking about going into human services and who may be thinking, I don't know what type of education level I need. I don't know what I need to do for this. So what kind of advice would you give to somebody like that?
I can tell you that from my experience, actually, is that I thought that this might be the career for me. And I actually took JCC has a program on human services. And I actually started out and I got my associates from JCC, and it was a really, really good program. And then part of that as well is that you got to do an internship. So in any program you choose, whether it's to get an associate's degree, or we have a lot of people with CNAs as well. So if that's something that you decide to do, I would just make sure that any sort of further education or experience you get has experience attached to it. That that it's not just the classroom learning, that you do have some sort of experience, educational. I keep saying educational experience. The experience is very important. So on the job shadowing and actually getting in to do the hands-on work. So internships, practicums, anything like that.
No, I would agree. I think that, coming into this line of work, you really need to, I think, get the most experience you can, because sometimes it's not what you think it is. And when you come into human services, everything's, oh, we come in every day and play with kids and hang out with kids. There's two sides to that coin as well. So I think the experience that you deal with and being able to come in with an open mind and be able to, really look to venture out and as much as take as much as you can as you go through your career in your education.
Great, thank you. And I've been hearing a lot for our audience. I've been hearing a lot that experience is more prized than education in a lot of circumstances. So your education, of course, will give you an amazing boost and you'll learn a lot more, but experience is really where a lot of people are looking. So make sure that if you have an opportunity to do an internship, volunteer, to get some sort of experience, make sure you do that, because that's going to look so amazing to a future employer. If you are looking for a job in human services or any other field, make sure you get that experience. I think that's all the questions I had. I did want to mention too that from hearing a lot from human services, you can do kind of whatever you want in human services if it's an organization like the Children's Home. So we just had in your video, we just had a cook and chef on there. That would be considered hospitality and tourism, but it's also a part of human services. So really, if you are thinking of going into any field, consider looking in the human services field, because it sounds like there's an amazing opportunity for everybody in the field. But excellent. Well, thank you so much to Anna and Chris. I am going to move on. It looks like Matt has not joined us, so I'm going to move on to Jennifer Draper and you, Ann. So whenever you are ready, go right ahead.
Well, hello. My name is Jennifer Draper. I am the Director of Quality Services and Staff Development at the ARC Jefferson St. Lawrence, formerly known as Jefferson Rehabilitation Center and the St. Lawrence Nice Arc. We merged a year and a half ago. So because of that, we are now over 1,200 staff, and we serve close to 1,000 people we support, and children. And this is a field that we work with people with developmental disabilities from birth to, say, 99 years old is one of who was our oldest. Currently, we have 51 residential sites between the two counties, which is quite a bit. And then currently, everybody is home due to COVID-19. We're not running our day programs. But we do have a few workshops. We do run a UPS store that has people who have job coaches that they come in and work with them. And we also have a variety of people who work out in the community. And that's always, people don't realize that we have that. We also run contracts out in Fort Drum for custodial, janitorial. We also do recycling. I run the central issuing facility where they issue out all the clothing to the Fort Drum soldiers. I mean, there's many, many different job opportunities at the ARC Jefferson St. Lawrence. Our primary workforce is working with people we support. They're with being a direct support professional. I've been at the agency for 24 years this month, and I started out as a job coach and then just moved into being a supervisor at a day room. And then I've been in the quality services department. Now, quality services, what is that? Well, that is, making sure that staff know the regulations to work with the people we support. And really, it's making sure that we are working with them to maintain their goals and to go further. If they want to work in the community, we can assist them with getting jobs. They do a lot of volunteering activities. I know that they're missing their Meals on Wheels programs that they were assisting with. They're out all the time participating in many, many different events along with staff. And the staff are there to support them. We do offer a lot of the things that Ann was just offering in tuition assistance, benefits, insurance, all those areas that are up on our website. And that website I can provide later. But what is the best part of working at the ARC Jefferson St. Lawrence? I don't have the same day twice. I'm primarily Monday through Friday, but I have a variety of things that I work on to make sure that the agency is moving forward. We do a lot of data collection and then also present these out to trends and see what we're doing well and what we're not doing well. The skills that we're looking for with new staff coming in is, honestly, we use a electronic health record called TheraRep, and writing, having good reading and writing skills are important. I was just talking to my children who are teenagers, and typing, honestly, typing is a skill that is, you're going to be on the computer after working with the people we support. Those are things that I thought that was definitely, yes, they sound like basic skills, but those are things that are needed in the, to work anywhere. Listening, being a good communicator, and public speaking is another area that will definitely be helpful. And, just being there and working with the people we support is very important. We do have, there's a lot of flexibility in schedules. But we also require people to be flexible to meet our needs. Trying to think. The other things that we do offer, we have for degree-wise, we do high school diploma with, driver license and background checks, right up to master's degrees. We do have a clinic that has physical therapy, occupational therapists, speech pathologists. We also have a large nursing department of like over 25 nurses between CNAs, LPNs, and RNs. So this is a field that is definitely, we're heavily medical in the needs to meet with the people we support. It's a very rewarding, I wouldn't have been here for so long if I didn't think it was rewarding. I do have a sibling with disabilities, so that's kind of where I got my start. And I definitely learned from her about, how to, work with a variety of different people, because there is definitely a variety. that we work with. I'm trying to think what else that we can present. I do, up on our website, there's a lot of job opportunities. We do have foundations to anybody that wants to volunteer and assist. Those are the direction to that can help build with skills in the background. So I think that's about all that I can. I mean, we're just a large agency. With staff development, same, we provide the orientation to the staff, and then it's ongoing training from there. We've been doing a lot of online training and what we call, our system is called Relias. So, and doing all these Zoom meetings and WebExes, and has been becoming more of a norm in our field, where it really wasn't as much anymore. It's been quite a challenge to be able to do as many, to keep our business running and to be able to still support the people in their homes at this point in time. So Celeste, if there's any questions, well, please see if there's any.
All right, thank you so much. I don't see any other questions here, but you gave a very good overall description of everything. I don't have too much to add. That was very well done. So looks like, again, we don't have any other questions, so I am going to end the session here. So this was our last session of the GPS for Success Career Fair. I am so happy that you could join us and that we had so much participation. Please check out mygpsforsuccess.com if you want to check out any of these careers or anything more. A big thank you to all of our panelists that were involved. We could not have done this without you and your experience and your expertise. So please, everybody, make sure to check that out. And if you have any questions or follow-ups, you can go to the landing page that you registered on GPS for Success. And you can also fill out a Google form that gives me some feedback, and you can get in contact with some of our panelists if you need to. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for joining us for the GPS for Success Career Fair, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you very much. Bye-bye now.